about my.
All right. Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversation about band, HBCU, band culture, music education, and more. I just dropped my remote, but it is what it is. Y'all, man, don't forget to go ahead and click the like button, subscribe button, and also don't forget to hit the notification button or bell to button or bell or whatever. But also, we got some great news or good news or however you want to say it. It is finally launched. We are launched, and it is time for you to put your money where your mouth is. So, with that being said, don't forget we have the scholarship fund, the Fuel Your Passion Scholarship Fund. So make sure that you go ahead and click the link inside of the description. You can give as much as you want. And remember, we do not have a stop on how much you give, because remember this, as long as we are supporting somebody's education, that's what matters. So it don't matter if it's 25, 30, 50, 100, we gonna make it happen. So make sure you go ahead and donate to the scholarship fund. The link is inside of the description. And then also don't forget to stop by our store. Don't forget you can get 30% off your purchase by anything that you purchase. All you got to do is type in HBCU band. All right, I think I got all of this out of the way. And as you can see, we doing something different, I guess. New stuff going on. I'm trying new stuff, man. So y'all bear with me. We building this plane while flying it. But with that being said, Portia, what's going on?
Nothing much. I went to Dubai for 9 days, and now I need a vacation for after the vacation. But hey, here we here.
Okay. All right. All right. You went to Dubai and you need a vacation after the vacation. I know we probably going to get into that more or less, maybe offline and then online, but it is what it is. Quan, what you got, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I'm doing well. For those that did not know, of course, I won the Dr. William P. Foster Award at Midwest this December, where they give you.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you. They give you a master clinician, and so I had an outstanding gentleman, Mr. Thomas. I may mispronounce his name, but Minish, but he's a band director for over 30 years. Great guy, man of God. Came in, of course, reiterated the same things that we as directors we always state, but had a great time with him. He stayed from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock, just giving the kids wisdom. So it was awesome, and just building networks and different things like that. So we're getting prepared for our UIL show, March 27th. So we have our program set. Everything's good. We're gonna have 1 week of spring break and then hit the ground running. And whatever it may be, it may be.
Man, that's absolutely dope, man. Hey, just to be able to have that access for somebody to be able to come in and get in front of your kids, and technically, when you really think about it, not even a face that you know specifically. So everybody's new to who that person is, but being able to give that information is always appreciated. So that's dope, man. I'm super excited. Did you record it?
I record certain things, certain sessions of it.
Okay.
So I'll be posting that on my personal page and our band page. But I mean, it's pretty live. And then on top of that, he's point me in a direction for mentorship with other retired band directors and master
Mhm.
clinicians as well. So God is
That's
good.
awesome. That's awesome. I am excited for that, brother. I really am.
Yeah.
That is super dope, man. Okay. Well, ain't nothing going on with me but the rent. I got kids. But outside of that, what's today's date? Today is the 5th. Today's the 5th. Yesterday,
Yesterday was
yes,
your birthday.
yeah, yesterday was my birthday. So,
Hallelujah.
yeah, man, hey, I got to give my own self a round of applause. But no, yesterday was my birthday. A lot of people ask me, man, how was your birthday? I mean, I thank God for 41 years. And after that, I went to work. So it was a regular day for me. But I'm going to try to get something in this Friday because that's my day off from work. So I'm gonna try to do a little something, not go overboard and do a whole bunch of crazy stuff. But yeah, get something in. So yeah, I'm happy to and blessed to see 41. So yeah, a lot of people will be like, "Dang, you 41? You old, bro?" Yeah, I'm dirt old. I'm dirt old. But
Dirt old is crazy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm dirt old, man. All right, let's get in. Oh shoot. Usually I say that y'all got to get a super chats, to be read on the joint. But man, from Monroe, Louisiana, that is my people's home. Shout out to Shady Grove Elementary. That was my stomping grounds. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this, man. So if you all don't know, if you all have been under a rock, or if you just have no clue as to what has been going on, and for me personally, I definitely will say this. Um, it hits home for me because of the fact that I'm a part of multiple organizations. As a matter of fact, before we jump into that, I want to talk about this very quickly because my brother definitely went down there. He went home for Mardi Gras, and I want
Hmm.
you to give me your thoughts and experiences on Mardi Gras, man. You were able to cut loose and get a little shindig going on, and I want to hear you talk about it real quick before we get into all the other stuff.
Well, I mean, it was my first time actually going to Mardi Gras in 19 years. So yeah, so I truly enjoyed myself. I spent time with my cousin who I was raised with, so that's like my older brother. My godson is playing trumpet, but he wants to play the trombone, so I got him a trombone. We kicked it. Was able to see my mother. She's a captain of a crew, so I get to see her in her element, enjoy herself. And my family next year said, "Well, we're gonna get a float." So, Julian, you're a part of the family, so you want to hop on the float. You be your first Mardi Gras float. So I'm excited. Portia, you're more than welcome to. It's different when you sipping and throwing beads, and it's different. But I truly enjoyed myself. It was a much needed time,
Man, that's what's up, man. So you got your sip and bees on. All right, now I got to ask you this
bruh.
question. Let me ask you this question. How did what was the stipulation for you throwing bees? Did you see something out there? Oh no.
I got beads, bro.
Okay.
I didn't throw beads.
Oh, okay. I was just, I just had to. Oh, so you were showing chesticles.
Nah.
What in the world?
Hey man, I gotta ask, man. I would not be me if I did not ask those particular type of questions, man. Now let me ask this other question, man.
Mhm.
I don't know. Is it just me or this year when it comes to Mardi Gras and band? And I don't know if you were paying attention or not, but is it just me or was it a situation that was like the high schools were the highlight of band this year? Um, and because from what I saw, I mean, obviously I saw a couple of videos of Mississippi Valley, Southern, I think Alcorn, Talladega. But from what I was seeing, it felt like the high schools were like the highlights when it came to bands. I think what was it St. Aug, Craigmont, couple of other folks I saw in there. But what are your thoughts, or what do you think? Because you were down there, so or were you
Mhm.
even paying attention at that time?
No, I wasn't.
I
I
understand.
was, I wasn't even tripping on band. But let me say this. I think band is can quickly recoup in the city of New Orleans. Um, It's in the DNA of the city, and that's one of the most exciting times of the year. Is Mardi Gras. Um, but it's not even. I'm gonna be honest with you. Really feel like it was never even about the colleges. I think when the colleges were added, it was something like a wow factor, but it was never about the colleges. It was always about the high schools. It was always about St. Aug, 3-5. During my time, the middle school, Bell Middle School, it was about, those. You know, it was never about the colleges or universities. I think from a marketing standpoint, Southern University, in my opinion, has won hands down this Mardi Gras season. Because that footage is top notch. So shout out to their media team. But outside of that, it's always been the high schools. And I think now, um, high schools, like most New Orleans high schools, bands are not small.
I would agree to
Like
that.
their medium bands are would be considered a large band in the city of Houston. So, it's always been about the high school. And them twirlers that be battling, I don't get it. But when they be doing it, I'll be like, dang.
Yeah, yeah. They, I said it last year, and I say it again. I don't understand like the knock kneed marching. I just don't, that part I don't get. This, the click clacks is cool. I don't have a problem with that, but I just don't understand the knock kneed marching. But yeah, you're absolutely right. As far as the twirlers getting it in with the fast joints, I don't know, but I can't do it. Hey, I tried, but yeah, man, I felt like the energy definitely was 100% put on for the high schools, and I think that's a really good insight that you gave as a non 100% Louisiana New Orleans person. You know what I'm saying? My people from Monroe, that ain't the same. It's just not the same. So, being able to get that insight, that definitely helps. All right, man. Let's go ahead and jump into this, man. We're gonna talk about it for a little minute, man. So if you all do
Oh,
not know, oh, go ahead.
I do want to say this though, and I'm from the city, but it is what it is. Shout out to Deontay Kennedy because he stood on business. He said what he said.
I don't know what he's
And
saying.
for
What is
those
it?
that he basically was like, what bands in New Orleans that can really touch him?
Mm.
And he said it on camera, and he was out there waiting. Now, I don't know if, he got into a battle, but he putting his money where his mouth is. And respectfully, Craigmont is one of the best high schools in the country when it comes to marching band and whatnot. Shout out to the Edna Cars and all the other schools, but Craigmont on something different. I'm non-biased, even though I'm from New Orleans. It's Ready and Wheat. They good. So shout out to him.
You sure that's you? You sure that's you being non-biased? Just making sure. Not
Yeah.
trying to be funny.
Nah, it is what it is.
Okay.
It is what it is. Good is good.
Okay. All right. Oh Lord. Uh, in some of those streets, people were saying a little different, but it's okay. I haven't watched the battles yet specifically. I've watched a couple of videos from some high schools, but haven't watched the actual battle. So I got to go back. I was about to, as a matter of fact, he just jumped in here. I was about to watch Justin's battle with Craig Mon. So yeah, but I'm gonna check it out. We're gonna check it out and we're gonna see. All right, man, let's get ready to jump into this, man. As you all know, or if you do not know, if you've been living under a rock, man, there has been a lot of stuff going on in the unfortunate HBCU space, specifically at Southern University. Now, before we get into this particular conversation, I don't know if anybody saw that video, but there was a shooting on the campus of Southern University as well, which I thought was crazy. I was actually going to talk about it on LBR, but then I was like, yeah, I'll wait to leave it for this. But um, let's see if we can pull this up, and let's just listen to it, and let's see what's going on. So here we go. I hope they don't give me no commercial. Dang it. I said it and they did it. Godly. I did not want a commercial. We don't care about your commercials. No free advertisements. You're trying to have stuff queued up, and it does what it wants to do.
I can't hear that.
Hello, we can't hear it.
I
Mm-mm.
can't.
I can't either.
All right, so basically, they're going into because it's going to take a lot for me to set this thing up. But again, building the plane while flying it. It looks cool though. We look cool right now. I'm just saying we got a little nice little setup here, but building the plane while flying it, we couldn't get this audio in. But ultimately, what it's saying is they're talking about the fact that if you haven't heard about Caleb Williams, a Southern University human jukebox member who passed away through a glazing death, they're basically saying the organization lied about where they were having their quote unquote rituals at. Originally, they said it was in a park, and then come to find out, once they did the investigation, they found out it was in a warehouse. Now, I ended up reading a little bit more information and finding out that not only was it in a warehouse, but apparently it was rented, if I'm not mistaken, rented by an elected official within the city of New Orleans, I believe it is, and Baton Rouge. I apologize. So let me go make sure and make sure I clarify that. But all in all, with all that being said, one of the things that I said on LBR is the fact that this thing getting out of hand. And before I even get further into this, shout out to all the new folks at Norfolk State because they just had probate. So all my new Alpha brothers, KK Psi, Phi Mu Alpha, boom. All right. Now, with that being said, though, this thing getting out of hand. And honestly, let's be real. It's been out of hand for a while, for a long while. And thank you, subleased. Appreciate you, Malik. Before I went and searched it up, I'm still gonna search it up, but yeah, um, but let's just call it what it is. We should have stopped this stuff a long time ago. I don't care what organization it is. I and I said it on LBR, and I'm gonna say it again. To me, I'm not calling out any specific organization because the truth of the matter is, we know what has happened behind the scenes, and it's out of hand because. And I'm not, me, I'm gonna try my best not to curse because I've been doing well. But I'll be dang if I get a call because I done sent my two sons off to be go to some university, and I get a call that one of my sons has passed away because they were trying to get down. I'm sorry, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So as I'm looking this information up to get clarification, Portia, what are your thoughts on this?
It just doesn't make any sense. Like nobody can contribute to your org if they did. Like, and I think the last thing I read said that they punched him in the chest. You do know your heart is in there. Like that can get rattled around. Like, but people are so wedded to I went through this, I survived it, so you need to go through this. But now, what kind of situation are you in? I think the other thing that we have to be conscious of is that all of these organizations require insurance. And so it's getting harder and harder for all of these orgs to secure insurance. And when they decide, because of all of these deaths and lawsuits and other things, that they no longer want to insure us, we're going to be up a creek without a paddle. Like, and then they lied about it like they weren't going to get caught. I, I don't know what the goal was, but to me, punching him in the chest, how does that make him a better Omega? How does that help him contribute better to your organization? Because I'm going to tell you what, some of the biggest glazers I know, some of the biggest, you know, set life junkies, I call them, ain't been active since they left undergrad. Don't know what Zeta is like in the year 2025 because you crossed all those years ago and now you're a t-shirt wearer.
Mm.
So how does this teach him to be a better member of your organization? It doesn't. And so we have to evaluate this thing from a longevity perspective. Like somebody subleasing, providing a warehouse is crazy in itself. I don't even know what to say, but I just think that it gotta make sense. And now nobody's life is the same. Those people that was online with him, life not the same. There's people who were in the band with him, life not the same. Like his parents will never be the same. His family will never be the same. Like this has far-reaching consequences, and y'all going to jail. So you went from
Hmm.
college to a jumpsuit. Like, what part of the game is that? Like, what's let's keep the main thing. And like the goal is to ensure that these people come into your organization knowing the things that they need to know, but how is that enhanced by getting punched in the chest? Like that's the stuff that you know how I don't know. It's sad, man. I just can't imagine. I don't have any children, but I cannot imagine finding out that my family member is dead because they want to be in an organization. You can't draw a correlation from trying to become a member of your org to dying in the middle of a warehouse at that age. And not trying to be funny, we know he ain't had no weak heart because he was in the marching band. So y'all did something crazy to him. Whatever collided with his chest was enough force to cause a seizure to kill him.
Listen, um, you ain't wrong on that at all. On that part, you definitely not wrong on that. Unless somebody was a bodybuilder. So, but I found the article, and I'm gonna kind of read it. Is y'all pardon my reading skills here. The WFABI team learned today that the warehouse where Southern student Caleb Wilson collapsed is co-rented by EBR Councilman Cleve Dunn Jr. Wilson was in the middle of an unsanctioned off-campus fraternity ritual when sources said he was punched in the chest, collapsed initially. Fraternity members told authorities that he collapsed at a BREC park, but that story was fabricated. Dunn Jr. told WFAB chief investigator Chris Nakamoto that he co-rents a warehouse for his courier business with another business partner that owns California Hardwood. Councilman Dunn told the I-Team he had no idea that Wilson collapsed there until WFAB informed him about it. The question is, did he let them in the warehouse?
Right. How did they get access to this warehouse? But I think as somebody who is in multiple organizations, my major concern, especially for these people that are, denouncing, saying that Jesus told them to denounce, the use of ritual in these articles and things like that is bothersome to me because no ritual, I ain't in every org, but I can't imagine that they put in writing a ritual that would endanger your life. So this is people taking on and adding their own spin, additions, other things to the process because nobody official process requires you to put your life in danger. So the use of ritual here is an issue for me. And they need to call it glazing because that's what killed him, not a ritual.
Yeah, you ain't lying. I mean,
Because
I don't know everybody's
the
ritual, but I can tell you, you ain't wrong about that one.
I ain't
Unless
never been put. I have never in any official part of initiation for any org I'm in been asked to endanger my life. So uh, that the use of ritual is bothersome to me because these people that's trying to say it's the devil and Jesus told them to denounce and all this other stuff or use this as justification, and this has nothing official to do with Omega Psi Phi. Y'all just was glazing.
you gotta earn it, baby. Gotta earn it. And so
Okay,
it's
well you
it's
finna earn
oh
that
yeah, and
orange
you
jumpsuit
oh yeah.
and that at the minimum a manslaughter charge, and you going from Southern University to whatever prison
You
there is down there in Louisiana.
So
you gonna do your time.
it's interesting. As I've read this, and I've read it before, but just want to read it again. The warehouse space is Lisa Todd Smith and or California Floors by Heck Industries. My business runner's courier service is not named. At least we sublease an office from Todd. Dunn got the owner of California Hardwood Floors, Todd Smith, on the phone, who verified that detectives came Monday trying to ask him questions and obtain surveillance video. Smith told WFAB both he and his son are Omegas. His son is still a student at Southern.
He let them use that warehouse. He
It
let them
just
use that warehouse.
it ain't getting no better in this whole situation. Um, District Attorney said we want anyone with information to come forward. We had several pledges that were there not implicated in any wrongdoing. We need them to come forward and tell us what happened. Anyone with knowledge about anyone being complicit at all with this case, we want the truth for the parents. Depending on what the autopsy reflects and all other witnesses' statements, possibility of negligent homicide, manslaughter, as opposed to just hazing death. So we are going to look at everything depending on facts and what witnesses say happened and the actions of the defendants. Moore said manslaughter is the most serious charge, which could carry up to 40 years in prison. Quan, what are your thoughts on this, bro?
Uh, I mean, I agree with what everybody has said thus far, first and foremost, and peace be unto him and his family. First of all, like death is final. Like we already got to remember that. But I hate to say it like this. We only get like this when it's tragic. We never speak about it prior to when that one sister or brother that pledged, and then they have PTSD and they don't want to come around. We never speak about it when you chucking or aspiring and you're trying to get into these organizations and you're spending your money. Like it's fun and games then. The reality of it is this our fault. And and in the words of my auntie Cheryl, you gotta make your bed and not lay your ass down. And I really feel like as a culture, this our fault. Because we pride ourselves on everything being hard. Everything has to be get it out the mud, so to speak. But I do want to say this as a person with historians, like a historical, like studied fraternities and all of that, and I studied all of them. They did have a portion, and now they altered it when our founders first got together. their first initiation classes were in Masonic halls. And so they were like putting hands on people. Not to the degree of this, of course. Let me be clear. They was putting hands on people though, for the purpose of bringing them together. And, if anybody wanted that information, I could shoot it to you offline or whatever, but they were never to the degree of this. And as a member of Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated, even one of our jewels, Henry Arthur Callis, says he regrets the hazing process because all of the founders of these organizations, they brought it about because a lot of them were, well, majority of them were Masons. And that's where those things honestly come from. Uh, and I don't want to get into semantics, with all of that stuff, but at the end of the day, this is our fault. We've been experiencing deaths and HBCUs through pledging process for years. I remember a while back, I think it was AKAs that had drowned. Uh, One time, it was other deaths on other campuses. And this is what people fail to realize about us. This happens at white campuses and with white fraternities too. The difference with them, they sweep it under the rug. They pay them families and they be quiet. Just a few years ago, I believe it was maybe 2000. I want to say 19. I'm a fact check too. And Julian and Portia, please do the same. Um, there was a death in Louisiana that at the time Governor Edwards signed a bill, anti-hazing law, because they basically it was 2017. I'm sorry, the death of Max Groover at LSU, a Phi Delta Theta fraternity. He was pledging, and he basically died of alcohol poison. So this has been, something that's in the works, and we all know the tragic death of the drum major at FAMU. You know, it's us, bro. It's us, and it doesn't affect you until it hits you. It doesn't. So these people, they're going to go to Elaine Hunt or Angola prison for pledging. My thing is, I'm not gonna make it seem like I don't know about that atmosphere. But what I will say is, nobody was there to be like, all right,
That's too much. You see what I'm saying?
yeah, like no, nobody was there to be like, oh, okay, like that's enough. Nobody was there because basically, and somebody, my cousin, when I went home to visit, like we was chopping it up about it. He was like, Crips and Bloods don't even kill their members when they jump them in. And you telling me this man was jumped into a college organization? He was like, I'll never do it. He was like, y'all, he was like, like, I'm just saying, bro, like, we do it to ourselves, bro. And it's unfortunate that, like Julian said, could you imagine I'm getting a call about an organization that possibly I'm in that my son is trying to get in and he's
You
dead
s-
and you
you
left
sent your
him
child to
to
college.
go, yeah, bro.
You sent your
That boy from
child
Kenner.
to college to get an education. And I don't mean no harm. I'm just going off what I heard. But I knew it had to be something wild. He survived becoming part of the jukebox, and y'all done took him out.
I don't know what a jukebox do, so I can't. I ain't trying to be funny. I don't know.
What I'm gonna
I
say
mean,
is, them parents, I can't imagine. I don't. What do you do
so
with
I,
that?
I do want to point this out, Portia and Julian. Do you know how crazy this is? That this is on, this information is on ABC World News.
Do
Do
you
you
hear me?
know, do you know what's underneath that link? Trump's presidential address. Like, with the removal of DEI, you have a president. we know how he acting, and this happens. It's like we not making it no better, y'all.
Yeah.
We
You
giving him
you you
We
ammunition.
I said that. I said that. I can't. I think I said it to Rick. It's interesting because all this stuff is going. He's gonna. This is what these black people do. We don't need
Yep.
all. We don't. They go out there. They're killing each other. We don't need any more DEIs. We need to get rid of them. That's gonna be him. So
like,
And I'm gonna
he
tell
he,
you,
he
and the thing is we have a similar law here. We had to go to an anti glazing training at Norfolk
mhm.
State. All the people who were going to be involved in MIP called Adams Law because a young man don't look like us died at VCU in Richmond from alcohol poisoning, but
mhm.
theirs is not put out there the same way ours
Ours
is.
do.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Ours
bro.
is always going to be violence. Like they, might have made them drink too much or eat too much or whatever. So it's always, even though a death is a death, they're gonna always amplify ours as they're violent. That's their history. That's the way they treat each other. You know what I'm saying? Like it's too much. And then not to compare his life to the rest of this, but did y'all see the letter where they shut down all membership intake? So you've ruined this for everybody. Nobody get to do nothing, you know, because y'all
And
decided.
and as a person, and let me say this, this is why this hits home for me. I'm not gonna say all of my story, but just know I was pledging an organization. Um, I believe it was our lines getting mixed up now. It's like '08 to like '09. They had a gentleman at PV passed away too. Uh, apparently he was pledging at the time Phi Beta Sigma, but he died. And it was a cease and desist too. Like people for and that was a completely different situation because they were off campus working out and so forth and so on. And apparently, from if I what I recall, he had a heart condition, but he was still with his line brothers. And of course, they attached it all to what? Pledging. There's people, man, getting alcohol poison. And I want you to know how these people are dying from alcohol poison is not drinking it in the regular way. It's
Nope.
they're putting it through their anus.
Yep.
Like that's how belittling and demeaning they're doing it. But all they're due because they have alumni money and old money, they paid them $6.1 million and then they're gone on with their business. They may suspend them for 1 or 2 years, but they got old money. But us, we're these leads and these links are under the president address. Like
It's
we
intentional.
did it. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
it's
did it.
intentional, bro. But we giving
But
them.
we doing it, bro. At this particular point, um, like at this particular point, it's us. It's like we get hyped off of being made. You know what's crazy? It's people that's really trying to take the professional graduate chapter route and they're so enamored with pledging that they want to do it there. But you
Yep.
didn't do it undergrad though.
Yep.
Right.
Like
Yep.
for
But
real.
here's
Like
the
it's
thing.
But I think it's
What
twofold. I think it's twofold, right? Like I don't even think it's just about the fact that people just want to be made. I think it's also the fact that people want to make sure that they are living up to the standard of what the old heads expect, right? Like that's
I'm sorry,
unfortunate.
a grad chapter don't have no old heads.
No, I'm not talking about the grad chapter. I'm talking about the undergraduate chapters, right? Like there are a lot of organizations or just chapters in general who are like, when the old heads come back, this is what they did. So we got to make sure that we get good with them. And so this is the
But you,
process that they went through. So we need to make sure that they know that we good.
but can I say
but
this?
what does that
This may be
even mean? What does that mean? Like if you beat them all up and they good in your eyes, but then don't ever pay dues again, How does that help your organization? How does that help the community? Like this, we
Ass
thinking
backwards.
small
Let's say it.
time.
We ass backwards. But I'm gonna add to that too though. And this, well, I don't even want to go there. I'll leave it alone. I'll
No,
leave it alone.
no, no. Go there. Go there. We here. We here. Let's go.
I Here's the bad thing about grad chapter, and I'll say this: when it comes to grad chapter, ask me. Like, and that's because I know I've been in them environments. See, kind of like what Portia was alluding to earlier. Most people that really be going hard, you've never been in them environments.
But and
Fair.
the other thing is that you not contributing. I
No, no,
let me
no.
tell you something, and I
From the forest thing, I'm saying you're at Portia. You're absolutely right. They'll be the ones, t-shirt wearers, new apparel. But what I'm saying is, even from the process, like this my mindset. From the process, if you're in a graduate chapter, ask them. See, like there's so much division within our organization. That's the
Bruh.
problem.
Bruh.
Like he made, I'm not. He paid for, I'm not. I didn't
I'm
pay all his
sorry, but
money.
when you get to the graduate chapter, even on the undergrad level, is the work getting done? And this is somebody who went through whatever I went through when I
Hmm.
crossed.
Right.
I'm interested in making lifelong Zetas, people who going to continue to contribute to TBS long after they gone. If you're not doing that, what we talking about? You gonna be 40, 50, 60 years old talking about your process? That's weird at this point. Pay your dues, contribute, then holler at me. And I've said that to some of my old heads. Well, blah blah blah, and I feel like they shoulda, and I feel like they shoulda. I don't care what you feel like, cause you ain't paid dues in 100 years, and your name ain't on the line. My name on the line when I was the advisor. So, and the other question I asked them is, do you want to come back
There you
and
go.
have a chapter, or do you want to come back here and the plot be
Have
great?
memories.
There you go.
What
Yeah.
what which one do you want? You gotta choose,
Yeah.
because the other thing is that these kids ain't made the same way. So which one you want? You want to hold a tradition up, or you want to have a chapter? Which one?
Yeah.
And I'm
I
sorry,
agree.
if you the example of how people turn out when they get made, we need to avoid that at all costs.
Yeah. And can I be honest with you? People, we're not intelligent enough. A lot of people are not intelligent enough to have team building skills without putting their hands on people at this particular point. That's really what it is at this particular point. But when it comes to that quote unquote tradition and all of that good stuff, man, that's dead, bro. Like Pareto's law basically says anyway, you cross 20 people, out of them 20 people, only 20% of
Hmm.
the people gonna do 80% of the work.
Yep.
That's why honestly
But
I'll
everybody made though. But everybody made
right, but
though.
but that's why literally a lot of these D9s they be like, nah, pay 2, 3 years up in a row because we know most of y'all ain't even gonna be here. But
Right.
like when you really go back and look what these organizations were established for, Alpha Phi Alpha for civil rights and justice and change, and birth of the Niagara movement and NAACP. You got Cap Alpha Psi had Ku Klux Klan was chasing them. Like we created these organizations for change, bro, and we killing each other over hopping.
Right.
So
Like
so
I'm
I gotta get beat up
I
to do service.
not, not, and I must say this.
I want to say this though. I want to say this because I want to be fair, right? I don't want to sit here and I'm gonna go ahead and call it out. I don't want to sit here and make it seem like we, us three, or anybody else who agrees with us are holier than thou.
Nope.
And I
Correct.
say that because of the fact that I don't mind admitting the fact that I've been through something. I was going through,
Right.
I did something when I was back in high school. Now I've had that conversation multiple
Yeah.
times.
That's still the strangest thing I ever heard.
Hey, hey, hey. But
Don't no judgment. We
but
listen, we don't judge.
thank you.
I'm
But
judging.
no, we are not. No, we are not. But what I'm saying is that at some point there are two ways that we have to look at this. One, as we got older, we got smarter. We
Yeah.
realized that the things that we went through weren't smart. There are conversations that I've had with younger brothers before about how this isn't okay. There are people that I know who have had conversations with younger brothers in their organizations that this isn't okay. The problem I think that we sometimes have, and you kind of hit it on the head, Quan, is the fact that when we're younger, we're just trying to do what we think is the thing that gets us in the door. And that does not negate the fact that these young kids may be thinking the same way too. Now,
But
where
let me
I
say this.
absolutely agree with you, Quan, is the fact that yes, it is our fault because there are a lot of us who are older who are still actively participating with kicking some young kids' butts and going
That could be
home to
your
their
child.
parent or their husband
Right.
or their wives or their kids and not thinking a second of it. But
Yep.
these kids that are still in school got to live with this now.
But I'm going to say this. When I first called my mom and told her I had started the process, um, and we're going to keep it G, unofficial process to become a Zeta, she said to me, I need you to hear me, and I need you to hear me good. Now, this is somebody who crossed, AKA, back in the 70s, where they openly lined them up in the middle of the yard, all that kind of stuff. But she said, you a woman first, and you need to decide here and now what your boundaries are, and you need to stick to them. And whatever they are, you don't allow anybody to violate them. And you don't allow anything that is going to endanger your life, because I don't care what they tell you, you can't help them if you did. And so I thought about that thing. And there were certain things that if I felt like my life was in danger, that I was willing to walk away from. A hard line for me was don't touch my face. I'm gonna beat your brains out. Like, don't do that. But like, I don't think that people establish, and this is my mom telling me this, and she was like, I'm gonna tell you right now, your daddy didn't go to college. He don't know nothing about none of this. So if anything crazy happened, ain't nothing happening in Norfolk State, because he gonna shut it all down. So set them boundaries and stick to them. I think these people are so desperate to be in something that they willing to accept anything, when if you honestly, and this is my experience, if you set those boundaries, they'll actually respect you more than you just letting them do any and everything to you. You don't have to. I'm sorry, but it was, what was it, Virginia State a couple of years ago? I want to say a couple of years ago, because I've been Greek a long time at this point, where they told them people to cross a river at nighttime and they drown. Oh no. I would have been like, hey, this what it take? This ain't for me, because I ain't finna do that.
I, you know,
I'm not finna do it.
you're saying stuff that I absolutely agree with, but here's something it just jumped up in my brain, right? This young man, got punched in the chest, right? And I don't know, where he was in the line. I don't know if he was the ace, deuce, trade, whatever. Um, but just imagine getting punched in the chest. Like, I've been punched. I've been punched in the chest before. I'm not even gonna sit up here in front. Not for this. I'm just saying in general. I've been punched in the chest.
Yeah, me too, in
Open
fights.
open chest. You play open chest, you get punched in the chest, or even that, like in a fight, right? The thought you getting punched in the chest, you don't think that would be the ending result. It's not the common ending result. The point that I'm getting to is the fact that I get what you're saying. When it looks like something that I know this is going to be life threatening, no, absolutely not.
But
But if you
there
get
is a
punched in the chest,
difference.
I don't think people are thinking like, yeah, I'm going down.
Well, here's the difference. I'm open chest, open palm is one thing. Even if I'm in a fight and I get hit in the chest, I'm moving, so my movement is going to absorb some of that. Somebody standing still in a line and you reeling back and punching them, what you thought their body was gonna do? I know you don't think death, but it's a heart in there. I I don't know. I just want to know what the benefit of punching somebody square in the chest is to your chapter in your org.
Hmm. Well, as we are
Because what
continuing,
I
oh, go ahead.
will say is whatever was done for me, to me, whatever, my Zeta process was explained. It had to make sense. That was some kind of benefit.
That's fair. That's fair.
We
Most
doing
of the
this for
stuff
this
got
reason.
most of the stuff got explained to me. I will say that a great majority.
So, so in regards to, I see the question for Justin Jackson in regards to the band, same thing. We just gonna keep it a thou wow. That's our culture. Like I hate to say it like this, it's a military-esque culture. If you think, let's be real, I have family members that are Marine Corps vets. If you think it don't happen there, it does. I don't know when it comes to certain organizations, it's the mindset of you have to earn whatever it is. You got to earn these letters. You got to earn this badge. You got to earn these stripes, whatever the case may be. I'm not saying it's right because we all agreed we didn't accept some things. But the question is, after the fact, what did you do when you got in to try to transmogrify your chapter and those quote unquote traditions? So, I
I
mean,
think I want to understand who decided to lie.
I mean,
I
I
think
know,
mean,
about it. Think about it. Yo, you didn't you
but you
didn't
didn't think they
you
was
didn't
gonna
kill.
find out.
I mean, if you so the way that I read the story is the fact that after they dropped him off, they all got together and at the particular park, and then came up with the story. Now, is that to say that after they came up with the story, somebody else didn't leak it, and the people who had the conversation, we don't know. I'm thinking they thought that after they did this, we got to figure out some kind of way to cover this up. So we gonna
I feel like
fabricate a
this.
story.
Telling you, but this
I
this
feel
is
like this.
college students. They not standing up to no interrogation.
That's fair.
I feel like this.
You ain't lying.
Let me tell you something, bro. Y'all two know me, and I'm gonna just put it in this context. You put, they say he had 10 line brothers, I believe one article said.
Mm-hmm.
You put 10 eggs in a carton and shake it. One Uncle Crack. They're not built for
Exactly.
that. They're not
No.
built for that. And because they're not built for that, you already signed papers knowing that you weren't supposed to be doing that. I spoke to a brother who's an alumnus of Southern, and I'm gonna do some research on it. But apparently, the district attorney of that parish, where the incident happened, is an Omega too. But the difference is he's a Republican.
Ooh.
That's what I was told.
Mm.
Now, that information may not be right. On week after next, we'll fact check just to make sure. or I'm sure on Luke's band report, he'll solidify it, either that's true or is it not. But from what I was told, the district attorney isn't a member of Omega Psi Phi too, and he said somebody going to jail.
Absolutely.
I mean, this young brother's dad is a cop. Like we
Mm,
also have to remember that too.
yeah, but that
I'm just saying
respectfully, no, what I'm saying respectfully, that has nothing that has nothing to do with it. He'll have more support from law enforcement,
exactly. That's what
but
I'm
at the end,
saying.
but at the end of the day, like he gone, and that's the thing. So you talking about man three, like you said, that's 40 years. In Louisiana, last year in July 1st, that probation stuff is different. Anything over 20 years is life in prison. So they're starting to make people in Louisiana do day for day, damn near. You got to do a certain amount of percentage of time before you eligible for parole because it was a violent crime. It's different, and we haven't even researched the federal law on hazing.
Mm.
This is just a state law. So
And not
how
trying
some
to be
people
funny,
made
they're gonna have to make an example out of them.
they will,
It's too
They
big.
yeah,
and I hate
It's
that's
too big.
and I hate to
It's
say
too
it like
big.
this. If it's not too big, I mean, but because it's so big, the chancellor, like people fail to realize, all of these head administrative people are members that are put in not just by the board of regents, but by state officials. The governor is a Republican. Oh, we're gonna make an example out of you, Southern. We're gonna make an example out of all you HBCUs within this state. Oh, you want to pledge? Even though we know that our counterparts doing the same. I had a relative that plays at LSU. They say it's like they want to pledge harder because they had a PWI.
Yeah.
So I mean,
so. Um,
mhm.
And let me jump into that. First of all, man, I want to go ahead and say welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversation about band, HBCU, band culture, music, music education, and more. Also, just bringing this up again, man. If you have not done so already, go ahead and get into the Fuel Your Passion scholarship fund. Remember, we are raising funds to give to any student out there who is going to be going to a HBCU. Specifically in the HBCU band. And remember, we do not have a cap on funding. So you can give as much as you want. All you got to do is go inside of the description, click that link. It'll take you right over to it. You go ahead and donate. You can put in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. You can put in 100. It's all good. And there, all the proceeds are going to be going to any student who is going to be going to an HBCU band program. Also, don't forget, you can go to our store and get anything off your purchase. All you got to do is type in HBCU band, and you can get 30% off of your final purchase. All right, so we've been talking about this, and I wanted to go ahead and bring it up because you are not wrong. ECU Phi Kappa Tau hazing allegations. Phi Kappa Tau at East Carolina University in Greenville is back in the spotlight again for all the wrong reasons. A local Eastern North Carolina news outlet has uncovered disturbing allegations of hazing within the fraternity, with multiple anonymous reports detailing shocking abuse, one even claiming pledges were forced to use cocaine. According to WITN, right. According to WITN News, these allegations are just the tip of the iceberg, with multiple complaints surfacing in February alone. The reports obtained by the outlet describe a twisted culture of hazing, including cocaine in the basement. One report alleges pledges were made to snort cocaine as part of their initiation. Elbow planks on beer caps. Another horrifying claim details how pledges were forced to plank on sharp beer caps, causing injuries and intense pain. Forced vomiting. Some pledges allegedly had to throw up on each other as part of their hazing ritual. And blah blah blah. It's just going into a lot of details. Provide details. Some of this is redacted. My blank is a member of Phi Capital. He was telling her that they would put them in a basement picture below and make them do elbow planks on beer caps and made them throw up on each other. Just from the pics and videos I saw, it's gross. I know from what I've heard, PM is results redacted. I just think it's weird they have to do this every night. Wow. Wow. Now,
So now
go
you've
ahead.
created drug addicts? Like, what's the goal here? Like, now they gonna
Wait,
come
what?
offline and be drug addicts. If they gotta do it every night, they gonna be
Every
drug
night.
addicts when they get off.
Every night on that white lady.
What's the goal? Like, what is happening? So now all your chapter is cokeheads. Like, everybody need a fix. What?
I ain't trying to be funny though. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I know that was white fraternity. Cocaine high. I'm just saying. Cocaine high.
What?
If you'd have said Park 30, I'd have been like, maybe a D9.
What I'm
You said
saying
cocaine?
is,
I'm just saying, it's inflation. Not that I'm on
how they
cocaine.
not
Let me get it.
you
Not
want everybody to be addicted to drugs when they get done?
This says I can't provide information, but the pledges have been hit with ice blocks, leaving bruises. Wow.
Ice blocks?
Condiments poured on. I'm just reading how it says it. Condiments pour on the person, and soap and beer in the eyes. In addition, on pledges' elbows, there are cuts and bruises from elbow planks and bottle caps. They also force the person to throw up on another person. The pledges still in have heard about the next punishment they have to do and are fearing for their safety.
Let me tell you something. You not throwing up on me. Count me out. I quit. And the cocaine is real crazy. Like, what? Who said? You
straight.
know what? One of them old heads was a cokehead. Cause who thought that this should become a tradition? So now everybody a drug addict.
But it's very
Cause
interesting. Go ahead. Go ahead.
how long? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The article was put out March on my birthday. Golly, yeah, on my birthday. So, but
No,
I
I'm
guess,
asking how long are they pledging? Cause how long is you making them do drugs every day?
but I mean, outside of that, I mean, because that is a very good question. But outside of that,
No,
it's very interesting that this is not something that we've heard of. Had I not brought
cause
it
they
up, a
ain't
lot of
dead. They just drug addicts. They're not dead. They just gonna be drug addicts. Functional, probably, but at least a couple of them is gonna drop out of school because they won't gonna want to be high every day. Like, what's the statistics on that? Like, the number of people who came into this chapter of this org, how many drop out because they going to rehab?
I that's a good question. We would have to look that up. But
You could not use
I'm
drugs
caught
every
up.
day. I'm sorry. Go
I'm
ahead.
caught up on puking on each other.
That's disgusting, and
That's just
I'm not
nasty.
signing up to do it. It is. It's very nasty.
You got
And
somebody's
how you know something not
intestines
being passed?
and
You
acid
know what
on
I'm
you.
saying? But what if they got something and they got open wounds because they got bottle cap elbow? Ooh,
Mm.
Hey, I do want to say this. I do want to confirm it. Tony Clayton, the district attorney, he is a member of Omega Psi Phi, and he was selected. He's on the board at Southern University, and he was hand selected by Jeff Landry. He's the chair of Southern University's board. I want to give the specific title. He's Tony Clayton to chair Southern University board. So the governor picked him.
Mm.
And so he is known to be a conservative Democrat. You know how that sounds. Now the governor is a Republican, though. I want y'all to know that.
What's Mary J. Blige saying? I'm going down.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I
I
think all of it crazy. Puking on people, cocaine, make people cross
bottle.
rivers at the nighttime, bottle caps. Let's not, going forward, hit people in the chest. Because I think
No,
that's
it's not
what
even.
killed Robert Champion.
We don't know. It was like we don't know. Like I feel like this, bro. I was talking to some of my best friends, and I was. This is what I said. I bless God for protection because the truth is we've been in some of them situations.
That's why I said that. That's why I said that
Like real
because I don't
talk.
want to sit here and be hypocrites, right? Because that's
Most definitely.
you
Most
know
definitely. Most
I
definitely.
don't I have to own up to what I've been through. At the same time, I also as an adult, as a grown man, as a father, all these different things, I can admit that they were not smart decisions as a young person. But I've also
I'm gonna
done my
tell.
due diligence by saying, hey, by telling younger brothers, this ain't smart. There has to be a better way. We can do this differently.
I'm gonna tell you, ain't nobody ever hit me in my chest in none of my orgs.
Mhm.
I'm also a female, so I
Fair.
don't know if that matters.
Nah,
But
I
I ain't never been hit in the chest. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And I don't know that if it had happened to me, if we weren't gonna fight about it. Cause I don't know why you gotta do that.
so basically you saying you swinging on folks. Got you.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask y'all this question. All right.
That Portia, Julian, you know that one. Yeah, we
Yeah,
gonna
that I mean that's a whole different portion.
yeah, we gonna
And
have to shoot the one.
and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go before we keep going, I'm gonna have to go ahead and say it, man. Y'all go ahead and hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm, man. Don't just sit there and be lurking. Go ahead and hit that like button. Let me see some more of them likes go up. But I will ask this question, right? We've said a lot, but my question is, what's the way forward, right? What is because we can say this is this is part of the culture. It's a horrible part of the culture and all this stuff, and this isn't right and this isn't fair. But a lot of people will say, well, what is the way? What is the option? What's the way that these guys can get good?
What
To
does
get
get
good,
good mean?
put
Because
it
you
like
know
this,
that's gonna be
bro.
part of the conversation.
No, but no, and I look at it like this though, bro. I'm gonna be real. People need to make these requirements harder to get in. That's number one. You need to make the
I
requirements harder
agree.
to truly get in. That's number one. Because you have certain universities, like, and let's be real, we fret. Like the requirement for Alpha, I still recall is a 2.5 nationally. Depending on what it is at your campus may say is a 2.8. And then for certain campuses, the unwritten rule may be 3.0. Like you got to start thinking. Like a person with a 3.5 may have a little more wisdom, you know, not diminishing anybody that has a low GPA. But I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna leave it alone. From my knowledge, has only been publicly from that Robert Champion a few people that's really put to jail that was put in jail. We haven't really been affected by this. You will now.
Yeah,
If if
this is gonna change the game.
yeah, if governors through states go to the HBCU because they're gonna come to us first and they're gonna say, "All right, y'all want to keep y'all organizations? If I find out like you're gonna be permanently removed," and what they're gonna start doing is start attacking the incorporated businesses. That's what they're gonna start doing. because we're the businesses. We know we have foundations to collect the money. But after a while, you have to honestly start at the head. What if they start attacking real talk, the general presidents, the general bachelors, the international bachelors, because somebody child died? People don't get that. It ain't no coming back.
No,
This is
but what
not a
I'm
bad
telling you
dream.
is, I don't even know if it's going to get that far. We're struggling now to get these companies to insure us because they see us as a liability. If we lose our insurance, we are
That's it.
not going to be able to exist.
And put like this, I don't want to say the name, but there allegedly there's one of the D9 organizations due to this can don't even have insurance. That's why their dues keep going up. And people fail to
Yep.
realize that too. That's why our dues keep going up, is because we have to pay the trust for the
Yep.
insurance.
Yep.
That's why life membership goes from 5,000, then it be like, nah, 8,000. I'm just saying, bro. Like,
And let me just say this. These a lot of times these people be trying to prove they self because they ain't never been a leader before. That goes back to what Quan was
mhm.
saying about being more selective. Y'all keep picking people who ain't never been in charge of nothing, ain't never been a leader of nothing, ain't never had to guide people, and they got a little bit of power because y'all done made them dean or ADP. Now they in here trying to prove and make themselves something other than they are. And it leads to stuff like this. But I also feel like what Julian said earlier is accurate. It is people who've been in 10, 20, 30, 40 years, giving them the facilities and encouraging this mess to keep going. You know, if he gonna say he from our chapter, you know what you need to do. That man that told you that ain't going to jail. You are. You the
Because
one that
here's
put
the
your
thing, though.
hands on him.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Even if that man, they rented the facility for the activity, he didn't put
It's an
nobody
illegal
hands on nothing.
activity. Y'all going down. That's what I know. Y'all
It's
going
look,
down.
say, bro, that's Louisiana. You going to jail.
You going to
You going
jail. And it's
you're
just
going
too
to jail,
big.
bro.
It was everywhere. It is everywhere. Y'all going to jail. So you went to go get a degree and you don't get a jail cell because you wanted to go hard. And your
You going
chapter's
to
probably
jail.
gonna get you're probably not gonna have a chapter for the next 100 years.
bruh. And I'm gonna be honest. I mean, we don't know. Well, I ain't gonna say we don't know. 9 times out of 10, you're right. That chapter's probably ain't gonna have no chapter. But
Oh, bro.
I can tell you, this isn't the first time that that chapter would be snatched.
Yeah.
No,
But
and
I'm gonna
they
say it
look
like
at
this.
stuff like that.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm people don't like what the old folks say. People don't think fat meat greasy, but it's a big difference when a judge tells you you got football numbers and you can't do nothing about it. I done been in the courtroom and I'd have seen the toughest people damn near pass out because they sugar done dropped because they didn't told them 30 years. That's what they're gonna start telling these people. Like, can you imagine? Like Portia saying, like, imagine this was a normal set. We went to set, somebody died, and then psychologically, you wanted me to lie on my line brother who died.
Do you hear me?
Then after that, you fabricated this story. He was already gone. You think it wasn't gonna report in the autopsy. So
That
now,
autopsy. Oh my god,
Not trying to be funny. Before we get to that, Quan, these are college students. They not hardened criminals. When they got in that cold room and they start asking them questions and banging on that table and telling them we gonna find out anyway, they crack.
first of all,
And
with
it won't just
first
one
of
of them.
all, First of all, what they do is they put you in that room and they sit you in that room, that cold room, shackle you to that table
Don't
for
they
about
shackle
8 hours
you?
by yourself.
And how you
And they
waiting? And how you waiting? And how you sweating? These college students, they not hardened criminals. They was gonna break. That's why I don't know why them geniuses went to a park and tried to come up with a story. These people not made for this. They not
and
made
guess
to
what?
be
And
in handcuffs and jail cells and none of that. And as soon as they got in there, they sang like canaries.
and put like this, well, people fail to realize everybody that told a lie, that's obstruction. That's a felony
That
too.
is obstruction of justice. I don't mean no harm. If I'm gonna keep it G, I'm already gonna get in trouble if I'm on the line and y'all kill my line brother. I'm the first one telling. I ain't finna tell your lie. Let me tell you what happened. We was lined up. It was this person and this person, and they hit him in the chest. And then we went to a park and they told us what to say. I'm not adding obstruction on top of already. Let me. At this point,
A
somebody
possible
died.
murder.
Do you hear me?
Put like this,
No.
man. I ain't trying to be funny, y'all. I ain't trying to be funny. And I know, we started late and all of that. And I'm not trying to have a conversation, Terry. But we done been in some of them situations, bro. And it's like I'm putting my mind right now back there in some of them situations where it was bad. That one wrong hit,
Right.
it
But
could
what
have
I'm
been,
saying is, once you kill my line sister, all bets are off. I'm sorry. I even back then, we
mhm.
already getting in trouble because you cannot explain away a death. I'm sorry. Like you gonna try to lie about it? I don't get it. You lying because somebody said they saw y'all somewhere, and all y'all saying no, we wasn't there, or no, that's not happening to us. Where everybody is alive and
Portia,
everybody can stick to the story. A dead
Portia,
person, all bets is off. I'm sorry. Even back then, I'm
Por-
not a murder.
Portia, Portia. They don't even know. Them detectives gonna subpoena them cell phones, gonna
Do
hit
you
them
hear me?
locations, gonna
Do you
ping all of
hear
that.
me? So
Are you
why you
going to
gonna say you
jail,
was in the
man?
park? Why you gonna say when you was in the park and all y'all phones pinging at that warehouse? See, like at this point, go ahead and tell the truth because y'all going down either way. You can't explain away a dead body. I'm sorry,
I ain't
like
trying to. I ain't trying to be funny. You know how pleasant gonna be? Hey, y'all, everything is during the daytime. Like we're talking, like it's like we're about to go back into the factor of ain't no more secrets. Hey, we picking
nope.
her. Put that little pink brooch on you. Put that royal blue brooch on you. We know she's pledging. Okay, at 5 o'clock, y'all have a good day. That's what's gonna be pledging now. It's gonna have
Yeah,
to be for
you
to
It's
you
have the
gonna change.
sustainability
The
of the
you're bringing that
organization.
up,
landscape.
and I wanted to go ahead and get that thought out, man. Before I get that thought out, though, once again, man, welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversation about band, HBCU, band culture, music education, and more. Go ahead and click the like button, man. Got to see some more likes going up. Appreciate all of y'all in the comments, but make sure y'all click that like button. Also, the super chats are open, man. I just want to make sure I say that as well. Super chats are open. Don't forget that if you hit us with a super chat, we'll bring it up on the screen and we'll read it and we'll go ahead and discuss it. I did want to go ahead and put this out here because I saw this just now as you guys were talking. It wasn't in the chat. It was somewhere else. You're talking about the possibility of the difference of what the pledging process is going to look like. Somebody said there is a difference between pledging and glazing. What is the difference?
I agree.
Oh, you hit him. You hit him with the Maya. Hold up.
Yeah, I do. I do because in my mind, and I can be wrong.
In my
You
mind.
know,
Mhm.
it's about getting not just getting the line to operate as a group, but also ingratiating them into the chapter, establishing like mindedness, getting people to think together. Because I'm going to tell you, when my line got together, we a bunch of individuals from a bunch of different backgrounds. We all have varying perspectives, and a lot of our stuff was about getting us in the mind of Zeta, getting us in the mind of the chapter. What's important to the chapter? What's important to the organization? Being there unconditionally for one another. We learn stuff like, are there any allergies? Because if something happened and her throat started to close up, what's the possibilities? You know what I'm saying? Not just doing this process, but in general in life. When you going, when y'all hanging out together, when y'all doing this stuff, if something happened to such and such, well, let's say God forbid we was, we was on the road after we crossed, we got into a car accident and she can't call her mama. Well, I know her mama name is this, and she live in this city, and this how I get in touch with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's pledging. That's getting ingratiated into the organization as well as the chapter, so that the transition into getting that work and getting that business done is easier because you're more familiar with one another. You understand the goals. You understand every chapter. There are national goals and initiatives and things you have to prioritize, but every chapter kind of has their own flavor, has their own things that they're going to focus on. And so to me, that's what that means. Glazing is a little different than that. I don't know that it always has a clear goal, or that it's always justified. Because to me, the cocaine thing is crazy work. I don't, what, how's that helping me? I'm sorry. Uh, the bottle caps on the elbows. Do my elbows need to be strong to do the work of the org? Like, what's the goal here? Like, I think some of it sometimes is just to exercise power more than the pledging process, which should be promoting camaraderie and stuff like that. Like, I mean, some people call it pledging. Now, Zeta calls it the membership intake process. There's collaboration, there's understanding, those things like that. I don't know.
Okay,
That, in my
I do. I
opinion, I
do.
do think there's a difference.
I'm looking at some of the comments and within our conversation. What I'm doing is I'm looking up anti-hazing laws, y'all. So for
Okay.
our audience, there's it's called under the Republican Act 8049 was amended by the RA 11053 in the United States, called the anti-hazing law. So to your situation, Portia, to your point, Portia, you said um you would have told, right? So somebody said in the comments, well, if you in Florida, the perpetrator as well as the person receiving the hazing or the glazing, they get found guilty or whatever,
That's
right?
most states. That's most states.
The- but watch this though. It breaks down to three things, but the main two things is this: the primary liability rests on the perpetrator. That's number one,
Right.
right? Because they organize and facilitate it.
Yep.
Number two, but it says it turns when turn the victims are treated as a witness and turned to perpetrating the crime.
Right.
So basically, in a nutshell, if the Line brothers lied at any point,
Yep.
they've basically turned from witnesses
To
to
perpetrators.
perpetrators.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like just reading this, looking at this, a person like because somebody's gonna say, I mean, reality, somebody's gonna say, well, it was his choice. The reality, it was. We've all made that choice, right? Not diminishing, because when we made our choice, we thought we was going, like, I remember we used to say, literally, if you didn't die today, it was a good day.
Mm.
Like we really used to say that.
Yeah, we didn't say that now.
Like we really used to say, if you didn't die today, it was a good day, because it was that bad. Like, I'm so serious, it was that bad. And only by the great. That's why, like, my heart is really breaking, because how stupid we really were. how naive we really were,
Yeah.
you know, driving from one place to the next place in the middle of the night, and oh, I want Jack in the Box and so forth and so like we were with it because we thought that's how it was, and then after we got it, we was like, you've been the lane. So we changed because intrinsically we was like, we're not gonna treat our next person, our neos like this, our, you know, so forth and so on. But as I sit here and think about peer review and pledging from BSM to the Christian organizations,
Christian
to
organization hazing is crazy word.
it was bad, bro.
Listen,
It was bad, bro.
listen.
That's
Like
crazy.
real talk.
But
Put like this.
here,
I, I just want to say this because I'm gonna make you laugh 1 second, Portia. When I had called my mama because I asked her for some money to pledge, and I finally got done. My mama came to my probate to support me, and I was, you know, sore and you know, so forth and so on. I tried to sit by my mom and, you know, put my head on her shoulder. My mama said, "Get off me. Whatever you decided to do and accept, they did it. I'm not gonna sit in some Epsom salt and take a nap, drink some ginger ale, and go lay down." Like, and as I'm thinking, that's hard, bro. That's hard, man. That's hard.
but what I'm gonna say is this: I get it, but what I always couldn't fathom, and I'm gonna say this out loud: I ain't never said I ain't die today.
Yeah, I ain't never said that. That's never. And I've had
That's
some
a little
bad
crazy.
nights. I ain't never
That's
said
a
that though.
little, but I ain't die today. That's a little crazy. Okay. Ha!
Nah,
Wow.
like I'm
But what I'm
like
going
no,
to
like
say,
okay.
but what I never quite understood with some of this extreme stuff is how you expect that once somebody cross, they supposed to be cool with you after that. How's this building a bond? I'm sorry. It might
But can
build
I
a
say
bond
this?
with the line. It might build a bond with the line because they endured that together. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't banging with you after that. I'm sorry. Like, I never understood the logic behind that. I'm gonna beat the crap out of you. But as soon as
But
you
it's
my
on.
brother, we good. No.
But it's almost like Stockholm syndrome, though. It really is. Like let's keep it a thousand. Some of us paid money to get, you feel me? Like last like and like, let's be
Well,
real.
I
We
don't know. I maybe it's how I where I'm from. We not getting past that. I don't know. I ain't never understood that logic. I'm gonna beat your brains out, and once we share the same letters, none of that should matter to you. Nah, bro. You lucky I don't bash your face in.
Nah, I
and I
mean,
feel you.
go ahead, go ahead.
I mean, I agree with what you're saying, Portia. I agree with everything what you're saying. But some of the people that gave me the hardest time when I was pledging, some of them really became my dogs. Like real
That
cool
ain't my
friends.
story
But
or my testimony. It's
no,
like it's some
and
people right now.
nah, and guess what? That's cool. But let me say this for me, after I learned some of the logic or the some of the quote unquote lessons that they was trying to teach, it's like, all right, bro. Like I can get it.
Can I
Now,
tell
some
y'all
of
why my
those,
perspective is that way? Because if you didn't have whatever you used to do that, you couldn't beat me. So in my mind, you still weak.
and I feel it.
If we was shooting the one, I'll beat you up. So I still don't like you because I still want to beat you up a little bit. But that's
But
the
and
old
then
Portia.
and I'm just looking at the comment for what Justin Jackson is saying. I ain't gonna lie. And you know I'm gonna get off it though. But boys really at PV, if you could have really got through the band, pledging really was nothing. I'll leave it at that. And I'm gonna say this comment off camera. Remind me, and I'll leave it at that. Come on, Julian, let's wrap it
I
up.
just
It's,
So,
think
it's 10 o'clock.
at this point, at this point, I don't know. I'm gonna tell you right now. My message for all my orgs is do it in the daylight. Have somebody there that can have plausible deniability. Cause I'm gonna tell you, I look good in almost all colors, but all orange ain't it, baby. It's to the point now, and y'all can call me whatever y'all want to call me. I done did some stuff in my life that should have probably cost me my letters, but at this point, 15 years in, I tell them undergrads, you do something wild, I'm gonna throw your ass under that bus. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm not, because now what I will tell you is that Zeta has made it so that they are coming after grad chapters. If you
Hmm.
have any inkling, any knowledge, any whiff of it, and you don't shut it down or report it, they snatching. I'm not losing my letters because y'all want to be slow. No, sir. And y'all not even good at lying. Y'all always get called. I'm gonna throw y'all under the
Then
bus.
you end up,
If
and
I,
then you end up crying. What you
you
crying
hear
for?
me? What's the tears
What
for?
you crying for?
I tell them every year. I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't care what you heard about me. I don't care what you think I went through. Baby, Zeta is a bill. It do not pay my bills. So I ain't going down for y'all foolishness. If I get a whiff of it, I'm throwing y'all straight under the bus. I
Okay.
think they doing something. Y'all probably want to check that out.
So at the end of the day, above ground pledging.
It's about to be the new thing. About to be the new pledging.
I'm gonna be
Pub.
honest. As long as you are providing a path for them to understand the organization, the people they have to work with, and the information, that's all I care about. Because right now, at this big age, I want to know why you doing the work. I'm not sitting around talking about a process that happened 15 years ago. The older you get, the more irrelevant that becomes. Are you active? You're not. Oh, okay. Have a nice day. You you know,
You
like if you
you know
you've been out, you haven't paid dues since you left undergrad, and you've been out of undergrad 20 years, 30 years. I don't want to discuss what you think the undergrad should be doing. I don't want to discuss what you went through and how they need to go through what you went through. Because I'm going to say it again. Evidently, what they taught you was not to be active. What they taught you was to still want to go to set but not pay no dues at this big age.
I'll say this as it for me. Uh, at the end of the day, what I realize is them boys going to jail.
They are
They like them boys
for
going
a
to jail.
long, long, long time.
Them
You
boys
heard
going
what
to
I
jail,
said.
bro. Them boys
Let
going
me
to
tell you
jail.
something. Let
Them
me
boys
tell
going
you
to jail,
something.
bro.
For
Louisiana don't
a
play that, bro.
long. I don't. I honestly, Quan, it could have been any state. With how big this is, they finna put them under the jail.
But this is what I wanted to say though. Though seriously though, these organizations were made and created during political climates that we're in now.
Yep,
If you don't
reminiscent of
think,
right now.
if you don't think the fourth estate knows that and was like, "Ooh, we got one," y'all.
Yep,
Southern University is being mentioned over the President of the United States of America public address. Like it was on ABC World News.
yep.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna say this, and I know it may have nothing to do with it, but just me and people do what they want. But this is Quan talking, Quano. If I was Southern, I would have never did none of them parades.
Nope.
Yeah.
I would have did none of
Because
them.
not only was he
Why?
a student, but he was a member of your band program.
Right. And now some of the members might have been like, we're gonna do it for Caleb. Some of them may have, but I wouldn't have did it only because the stain, even though the jukebox is a beacon of light, but the stain and tarnish of an open investigation, basically of murder, and you at Bacchus. Sometimes I'm I'm not pointing any fingers, but if that would have been me, I'd have been like, y'all go home. So just know every organization moving forward, from the band, and see, this is gonna make it bad. Oh, he made me do push-ups. We think it's bad now. We think it's bad now. It's gonna be one phone call, band shut down. Oh, I didn't make drum major, band shut down.
That where we
This
are
where it's
now
going.
is a result just of the whole Robert Chapman
Robert
situation
Champion.
alone.
Yep. Yep.
So this
Yep.
ain't gonna help it. You
Nope.
ain't lying about that, Quan.
No,
This
it's
this this
going
this
to,
this.
it's going to, and now parents are going to be hyper alert.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what they doing?
The
Tell
f-
me what's going on. Um, my baby shouldn't be doing push-ups in the band. My baby shouldn't be running. Okay, well when they do that 12-minute show and they pass out, good luck with that.
Man, I just
and
had a
then they gonna hold.
conversation. Hold on, wait. I got to change the subject. Well, it's in the subject, but I got to really just talk about. I just had a conversation with somebody at my. He's actually in the chat right now, but I just had a conversation because he could not understand why we run in band. And I
Okay.
kept trying to tell him, like, doing a 9 to 12 minute show in that uniform in heat is not something that you can just pick up and do. It doesn't happen that way. Because his response was,
No.
you just run the show 2 3 times and then you good. You good with the show. No, you know it does not work like that. You have to be
Mean,
conditioned to do that.
fundamentally, what it takes to participate on a college level is different from what it takes on a high school level. And when you have band camp, first of all, the people who are returning have been sitting at home doing nothing all summer, and
Eating
then these
chips.
people coming from these, right, these coming people coming from these high schools may or may not high step have ever high step before, may or may not have ever had to condition before, and so people are at different physical levels. And if you go out there and just run football drills for 2 or 3 days and play a game, your likelihood of having a heart attack or some kind of health crisis increases. So if you are marching and like blowing through a horn or instrument for that longer period of time and your body is not used to it or conditioned for it, you're likely going to have a heart attack. Ah, mm. But that's not a question that's foreign to me. I've heard it multiple times. Parents say it all the time. Why they gotta run? They ain't running high school. Okay, well, what I'm gonna tell you is that helmet is a oven, and ugh, I I don't know. It has to be explained at least once every other year or so.
Hey, I
But
tell them just get you. Hey, you come out there and march one show. I will show you. I will show you the drill. You go ahead and play the part. March it full energy, intensity from top to bottom. See if you make it. That's all I'm saying.
and
Uh
a lot of it is consistent, back to back, child.
yeah. We probably gonna talk about it again tomorrow because he's like I said he's in the chat. But let's get ready to shut this down. Listen, before well no, I'm gonna go ahead and do it like we always do it. Quan, any final thoughts? Anything you got for the culture?
About my thoughts and prayers go out to this young man's family. At the end of the day, forget everything else. Parents have to bury a child. That's the thing. Parents forget the news publicity, and I'm gonna be honest. Forget the pledging, forget the fraternity, forget all of that. They have to bury their son. A father that worked 35 years of an honest job sent his son to school, and now he got to bury him.
To school, college, higher education.
That's all I'm saying, bro. Like we we doing it to ourselves, and other people are laughing at us and sitting back and literally saying we don't even have to do anything. They're willing to beat themselves to be a part. They're willing to sell their souls to be a part. They don't even know who they are. That's bad, bro. My grandmother would say, Jesus coming back. Make sure you're ready. Like we gotta flip this philosophy of thinking. We're losing too much. The economy is in a bust right now. School kids may not even have FAFSA to attend school. Like for real. HBCUs, they're taking scholarships away. They're taking endowments away. They're trying to shut schools down. Public school education is in the toilet. They're closing low socioeconomic schools down. We speaking about there's a program in I think El Paso, that area, because they took DEI and all the way to for budget cuts, they just got rid of a mariachi program, just swiped it. They had over 200 plus kids in the program. Band directors was about to retire in 3 years. It's bad, bro. And we out here doing this. And I don't want to make come across seem like I'm holier than thou because I was in it too. But it does get to a point where you got to be like, you know what? I need to do better. When I know better, I need to do better. Okay. My condolences goes out to that family. Period.
Yep.
And everybody who's been affected. If he had a girlfriend, his cousin, his crab brothers, his crab sisters, all them people. Shout out to the Southern University marching, the human jukebox staff. That
Yep.
that was their student. That was their student.
Yep. And I'm gonna
And
tell you, a
some of
couple of
them,
years ago, we lost a student. That's not a good feeling.
yeah. Like, and some I don't know if any of the directors are members of Omega Sci-Fi, but think
They
about that.
are. A couple of them are.
So think about it. It's like I know Kid is frat. I know his brother Reggie, he's frat, he's the alpha. But I don't know if somebody else is gonna make it. And to sit back
I
and
saw a
think and be
couple of
like
them throwing up hooks
the
in
hooks.
Houston the last time we was there. It was like two of them.
And here's the crazy thing, is like this young man who I admired, I may have even written a recommendation letter for him. Like that's what I'm saying, bro. It's bigger than that. Like we lost the soul. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Portia, any final thoughts? Anything you got for the culture?
We have to be the change we wish to see. And we have to start having conversation about longevity, what our actions will do to the legacy and lineage of our organizations, that piece. But what are we doing to our people to accomplish quote unquote being made? And are we willing to keep taking these gambles in order to justify something that's not going to matter in 10 years, 20 years? And it is our fault, to Quan's point, and it's our job to say enough is enough and we need to be better. It is our job to say that. And I've been saying that. I'm not telling you to say something that I'm not saying, that I haven't been actively saying, that I haven't been actively challenging um, with even people from my own orgs, my own chapters. Like, at what cost do you feel like we should continue down this road? What is the cost to our people? What is the cost overall to the lineage and legacy? And reality is, if you continue to do what you've always done and expect a different result. That's the definition of insanity. It doesn't make sense to continue to try to do and push this knowing that it can lead to this. And to me, one person is too many. So I just think we have to be the change and we have to decide that human life is more important than considering somebody made.
All
That's all
right.
I got.
Well, with that being said, you've heard it here. Everybody has said it. We've got to do better. I mean, at the end of the day, I can tell you this. It was a question asked earlier. What if your kid or kids, for me, because, I got three of them things, but, well, actually four now. God dang it, I got a new son. But anyway, what if your kids wanted to become a part of your of an organization? I'm gonna be honest. The things that I went through, I would not allow my kids to do that. Like I said before, and I said that on LBR. At this point, you can be a GDI because at the end of the day, putting my kids' life in the hands of that particular situation is not worth it at all. It's not worth it. I'd rather my kid have no letters and come home to me and I can celebrate his wins or their wins than to get or be on a 50-50 chance of getting a phone call like this. We've got to do better. I'm definitely going to agree with Quan on the above ground processes. I think we probably need to go back to that. I'm not against that at all.
Ain't no
Um,
discretion, no way.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
It's no
yeah.
discretion now anyway. People putting up pre coming out countdown numbers. Nobody keeps a secret, now anyway. So just be out with it. But what I do want to say is shout out to the chapters, to the advisors that are getting it right, because there are some who have made it a point to preach the right things, to drive home the right things, the official things, the things that are outlined by these organizations as the way through the membership intake process. So shout out to those chapters and those advisors and those grad chapters that are making sure that the correct things are happening. But we need more of that. We need to be holding one another accountable and to ensure that going forward we are avoiding situations that can lead to loss of life.
Absolutely, 100%. Also, as we are getting ready to close out, again, do not forget that you can go ahead and support any student that's going to be going to a HBCU band program by go ahead and giving to the Fuel Your Passion HBCU. God darn it, I forgot the name of that quick. Donation. God, it's getting late. My eyes are red. My eyes are red. All right. But yeah, you can go ahead and donate to the scholarship fund. Go ahead and click the link that's inside of the description. And then you can give as much as you want, man. You can give one time today, one time tomorrow. You can give today, next week. We do not have a cap on how much you can give because we believe that we can continuously support any student that wants to get into higher education. So again, that is wide open. Also, don't forget you can go to our store and get anything that you want. You can get 30% off your purchase. All you got to do is type in HBCU band. And don't forget, like, subscribe, go ahead and hit that notification bell. We are going to be back, not next week, but on the following week. But don't worry because LBR will be happening all throughout the week. And somewhere in between the middle, we're going to get Crystal back up here. Hey, man, y'all got to support Crystal. Crystal's been doing her thing. She was just down in Houston, in my city at Texas Southern, doing a clinic at Texas Southern. So, man, shout out to her.
Damn,
But
I'd have win.
you didn't know?
No,
What day was that? Was it? I think it was Friday. I think it was Friday, Thursday or
last
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, just passed.
Oh, So,
Yeah, I think you were out. I think you were out of town. Yeah, but either way,
what time? What time was it? Was it during the day or
it was
no?
during. I think it was during the day. I think it was during the day.
I would have went. I would support it.
Hey, Smiths, I thought you knew, dog. God dang, why you don't get mad at me? I thought you knew.
Communi- Communication, bro. That's cool. It's cool.
So we doing it like.
Don't let. Nah, just don't let it happen again. It's cool.
Ain't you the younger brother? Anyway, without we gonna get out of here, man. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks, man. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, this has been super dope. And we'll see y'all in 2 weeks.